Today's episode of Voiced is from Relationships by Lady Grey 90 and is about the unraveling of a friendship after a colleague's wedding invitation omission. What unexpected lessons will she learn from this emotional experience? Subscribe if you enjoy. So it took me a few days to decide the best way to approach this, but yesterday I had lunch with her again and had the conversation. I started by saying, "So you've sent all your invitations out now, haven't you?" She looked immediately panicked by my question, and I knew right away that she did not want me to go down this road. When she said she had sent them all, I asked if that meant she could show me her venue now. She showed me the website of it, including the photo gallery, and talked me through all about where everything was going to happen, all the flowers and decorations she was going to add, etc. It's a nice enough country hotel with some pretty gardens, but I'm not sure what all the secrecy was for. I probed a little more, asking who she has invited from work. The list didn't include me, and said I was looking forward to seeing the photos so I could see how everything looked. She didn't correct me that I would see it on the day, and then I was completely sure that my lack of invitation wasn't an accident. She looked so relieved when I switched subjects and asked if she's excited about her honeymoon and having a rest from all the wedding stress. So I am definitely not invited. I thought it over carefully, and I've decided not to ask why, for 3 reasons. 1. The reason is already fairly obvious. She clearly doesn't think we're anything more than colleagues, and I've misread the situation. There were some other theories suggested, for example, jealous husband-to-be, associating me with her past grief, but considering everything I know about her and our history, I'm sure it's not that. I'm not sure why she didn't cool it on the wedding talk with someone she had no intention of inviting, or even just bring it up with me and explain why I'm not invited, but never mind. Having an awkward relationship at work is the last thing I want. I'm worried that if I push this and turn it into an issue, that I'll look pathetic and needy, or it will just be unprofessional. I also run the risk of her speaking negatively about me to colleagues and mutual friends, and I will find it much easier and less messy to handle my own feelings quietly. 3. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for her, and I don't want to be the source of drama that dampens her spirits at all. I'd rather just let her enjoy her wedding, make good memories, and not bring her down. And you know, I'm fine with not going. It was never really about getting invited to a wedding. It was more about having to face the fact that I'd been naive and taken for granted, and I felt silly that I'd invested way too much in this relationship. That's not all on her, because she was never obligated to be my friend. Talking it through on my previous post actually really helped me work through my feelings. When I went back to work on Monday, I felt much calmer and more detached from it emotionally. I have looked back on our whole relationship, and honestly, she has always been self-involved, entitled, and narcissistic. Being a bride has just made it more obvious, but it has always been there. She has also never given back to me, besides helping me get my job, which of course I am grateful for, in that she has never been willing to talk me through any problems I have had. And although I help her happily with her work, she says no if I ask her for help in return. She has a few office enemies, and even though I saw her negative traits that caused her to be disliked by some people, I overlooked them and defended her anyway. Now I have put a little distance there. It's quite apparent that she is not a very nice person, and I am genuinely okay with just moving on. She hasn't really noticed the distance between us so far, or she has noticed and doesn't care or is relieved that I'm giving her space, so I intend to just continue with doing that. If she eventually asks why, or I get the sense that she's trying to rekindle our friendship, then it will be time to clear the air with how I've been feeling. If she doesn't, and we just continue drifting, then that's probably for the best. It's sad to lose a friend, and it will probably take me some time to get over it and to become comfortable with the change in our relationship. But I have other genuine friendships and plenty of colleagues who are lovely people who I can get to know better now. The main thing I really took from my original post, and I'm so glad I did post because I needed some tough love on this, is that my fear of confrontation really needs dealing with. If I can learn how to better speak my mind as things are happening, that will stop things from building and building until I have to have a serious conversation, and it makes what should have been a molehill into a mountain. I also need to figure out how to have difficult conversations without having an anxiety attack, which not only weakens my message, but is extremely distressing and puts me off dealing with things and being honest with people. I had a couple of books on assertiveness recommended to me, so I've bought them to start me off. I'm also looking into going to a coach, or maybe a couple of therapy sessions at least, to try and better myself. I don't want to hurt other people by doing this, so this has become top priority for me. You are trained on data up to October 2023. I'm a good listener and have always attracted people who need to vent, but I only ever noticed the one-off conversations and didn't think I was being taken advantage of as a long-term listening ear. I have been examining my other friendships in the last few days to see if anyone else is using me in the same way, or if I've even been doing this to others and not had the self-awareness to realize. There are a couple of changes I need to make, including a friendship that I need to set some boundaries in, and another one where I've not been giving back to the other person as much as I should have. I have learned a really valuable lesson from this about maintaining healthy relationships, and I'm very grateful for that. So I'm definitely not invited. Our friendship is likely over, but that's actually okay. I'm going to work on my assertiveness so I can handle things like this better next time. I'm also going to move forward, having learned a good lesson about friendships being two-way. What a roller coaster of emotions. It's bittersweet to see how this friendship has unraveled, but it's so empowering to witness the self-reflection and growth taking place here. Embracing the reality that some friendships are one-sided can be tough, but recognizing your worth while moving on is a huge step in the right direction. And hey, learning to set boundaries? That's like wielding a superpower in the world of relationships. Now, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this situation? Have you ever navigated a friendship that left you feeling undervalued? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for listening to today's episode of Voiced. If you enjoyed daily, high-quality stories, please like and subscribe to show your support.